For that reason, I have a rating completely different to what someone else would have.
Yeah, really?
Out of 10, okay, out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay?
3,
2, 1.
The first 20 minutes, I think, was good.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to emotional scenes, Soori was putting his heart out in this movie. Like, in my opinion, the one who carried this whole movie.
Hello and welcome to the Pan India Project. My name is Rohan, aka the Indian Cinema Junkie, and for today we're here to review Soori's latest film, Maaman. And in the studio today, I have Saron here. Yeah. Welcome to the Pan India Project.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Just quickly, Maaman is Soori's Soori's latest film. What's your general thoughts about it so far?
Okay, so you can think of this movie from two perspectives. There's a family audience perspective, and then let's say you go with your mate's perspective, okay? Because I watched the movie with my family, okay? And for that reason, I have a rating completely different to what someone else would have, okay?
Yeah.
So that's why I want to hear your rating at the same time as mine, and we'll go off that, okay?
Yeah, really?
Out of 10, okay, out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay?
3,
2, 1.
5.75.
Oh,
oh,
5.
5.75.
No,
okay, there's a difference.
I'm not having it. Okay.
Oh, this is good, actually.
Did you go by yourself or did you go?
Yeah, I went by myself.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe
okay.
This is gonna be interesting.
5 is crazy.
5.75. I will explain it. I can justify it.
Okay.
Damn, this will be interesting.
Okay. So okay. Give me a positive from the movie then.
So quickly, we'll just go before we get into that. We'll just touch on the story first, very far. So for me, how I see the story, this will be without spoilers. It's basically a story. Well, Maaman means uncle, right? Yeah. So it's uncle-nephew and their relationship, right?
Yep.
And and I think it also shows how their relationship affects the rest of
the relatives.
Yeah. So is that how you would describe
that's the main?
Yeah.
Story of the movie. Yep.
But yeah, now going to what I liked. I think what I liked was the first 20 minutes. I think was good.
I hear that,
from the start. Yeah,
the first half I would say is solid. First 40 minutes.
Yeah, and the first half was definitely better. I like the story. I think.
Because Soori was the one who wrote the story, to be fair.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think they said it in the trailer as well, right? Yeah, and I think the story is very different. I know it's different to father and daughter, brothers. We don't really get to see it, so it is different.
Like a father and son type of movies recently.
Yeah. And then we've had films like Tourist Family, which is a bit more family, but this is nephew and uncle, so it's different. That's one thing I would say. Yeah, it had a good story. And I did like the wedding dance sequence at the beginning, when there's that wedding. That was quite good. But what's your kind of positives on this?
Positives. All right, let's start with Soori's acting in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to emotional scenes, Soori was putting his heart out in this movie. You could see the dedication he put in it. When he was crying, I'm telling you, it was worth watching. Then we have his sister, Swastika, I think her name was. Her role was also good. In my opinion, the one who carried this whole movie but he was technically a side character, is Baba Bhaskar. You wouldn't say he's he's there, but the reason is, we'll go to spoilers later, but he's not even in the movie that long. But when he is in the movie and you realize why he's like this, then you start getting affected as well, and that's why it affected me more when you realize why he's like this towards his son.
Oh, so it was the father.
Yeah,
the father.
I thought, and also we have Rajinikanth as well when he played the grandpa, and then that whole scene as well. Although arguably, Rajinikanth in this movie, he played a role of being a grandfather for them. You could also say that scene alone, you could probably remove it, and it'll still have the same impact in the movie itself. But yeah.
But then I think with going back to the grandparents thing just quickly, I mean they do touch upon it at the end, right? When they have that dialogue. But yeah, those are, I would say, my positives, and then those are your positives. But then now I think, should we get into the story or what we did now? Let's get into the story first before we do anything what we didn't like. So now there will be spoilers going forward. So listen at your own risk. But from the start, so we'll go right from the start, right? Okay. At the start, Soori's sister in this film, right? The whole thing was she was gonna be a bridesmaid for this baby shower. And then it's and she was against it. She's like, no, I'm not doing it.
She's the one who always does it all the time.
And then she gets hate from the in-laws and whatever, because she's been married for 10 years and she's not had a kid. So that was the whole kind of premise at the beginning. So it was oh no. And then all of a sudden she throws up on the mother-in-law.
Oh yeah, that caught me off guard. That actually caught me off guard.
And then Yeah, it turns out she was pregnant, and everyone was like happy. Like all of a sudden, the family was okay.
Everyone hated you. The next minute she started vomiting. Oh my god, she's have a child.
But then I think that maybe that's represents like Indian culture, Indian families. Like as soon as someone has a kid, it's like the best news ever. And then Surya was not Surya. Oh my god, Soori, like jumping up with joy and stuff. Like he's like over the moon, right?
Yeah.
And then he says something, right, which is like, the first word you should say
is
mama. Yeah, like is uncle in it. So that's where, and then also when she, and then later on we see, you know, pregnancy, and then there's that love angle, right, between him and the doctor, which slowly starts to form as they keep going and stuff. And then it's like, okay, his sister gives birth, it's a boy. But then what was quite funny, they had that whole ritual, right, about the umbilical cord.
Oh yeah, where the uncle can't see the child.
And then the doctor was like, what is and then literally he pushes the dad away. He's like, move out of the way, I want to hold him first. And he does. But then actually just thinking about it, maybe how they said it was bad luck, I don't know if it, like, the whole relationship
because before that, I knew that's actually a thing. I had to ask my mom about that. And apparently actually it's true.
Really?
Like, uncle, apparently,
they can't see if the umbilical cord's wrapped around the neck. That's in, because then maybe that scene, maybe when you think about it now, that scene maybe affects the whole rest of the film in terms of the confrontation and stuff. And then it jumps 5 years, right?
The whole time skip, and he's in school now.
And he's in school.
But one thing I also did like, you know, when the sister's pregnant and they put out there was a song when they were playing. I don't know if you were listening to the lyrics, but that song, it was a pretty good song. I'm not the music. I don't know who the music for that movie, but the music was good for that movie as well.
That one, So and then he grows up, right, and then we see him in school, and we get a little fight scene.
Oh yeah, the fight. Although it was only one fight scene, I wish there was a bit more. I'm not gonna lie, because the fight was good. Like, you're trying to keep it family friendly, but also like
the cool
uncles.
And I don't know if it was just me, but I think I saw a John Cena reference.
No, there was every
exactly.
Time, like, you can't see me.
I'm not the only one.
Not only that, even in the captions when you're reading it in English, it'll be like, you can't see me. He literally said it as I was like, okay.
And then the kids were like that, and he does it, and I'm like 100%. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, you added the John Cena reference, like, that's calm. You added that. And then that's kind of the beginning. And then as we get into the film, we see, you know, Soori married a doctor.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden...
That's when the whole movie just flips around. And like, because the first half you think is about, obviously, the nephew and the uncle. But then the second half is more to do with his wife and him alone. So, and then how you see that the nephew plays a huge role in the second half, where in the first half it was just them two as a main... What's what I'm looking for?
Like... relation.
Main relation. But yeah, go on. You about to say?
Yeah, so then they get married, and then all of a sudden, like, even at the wedding, we just see this relationship between the uncle and nephew form, right? It's like this unbreakable bond. It's like, even from the wedding, he's like, when they trying to tie the chain, he's like, I want to do it. I don't want to go.
I'll be so real. That scene, it slightly annoyed me. I'm like,
I feel bad for the wife. Like, I was like, you're the biggest third wheel.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I want to stay. And then at least Soori was like, you can't give the real one. I'll give you the fake one. And then it's also, even in the first half, right? It's like, oh, they're going to go for their honeymoon. And then...
No, it was a mom. It was a mom who ruined it, because they were like, oh, don't tell him. We'll tell him after we leave. And then the mom's like, Lattu, come here. And then, ruined the whole thing. And then, had to shut down the whole honeymoon and everything.
Literally, they're trying to grab him, and he's trying to, like, do this whole singam, like, get me out, get me out, get me out.
Oh, yeah.
And then Soori's like, well, we're not going.
Yeah, we're
like,
not going. Ain't happening.
And then what else happens? Yeah, I think, and it just touches upon their relationship. Like, the wife's getting frustrated. And then it comes to a point, I think, just before the intermission, right, where they literally go to, like, the mum of, like, Laddu, and it's like, your child's, like, hyperactive,
yeah.
And then she
bugs out. She
goes insane. Like, at the ear piercing ceremony, it just... was it at the ear piercing? Yeah,
that was afterwards, when... Soori's like, oh, if I get one, you do.
And then, but was that in the first half?
That's
right?
Second half.
Because there was that event in the first half where it kicks. Was it in the where it kicks off or?
First half is when. Oh no, the first half is when they got married and there's a honeymoon section. After that comes the ear piercing.
Yeah, the ear piercing section, and then that's where it all. I think that's where the film changes even more.
For me. I don't know about you, okay, but this is how it was. Before the intermission, like intro, there's a scene where Soori and Laddu's in the bed together, and they're gonna sleep, okay? And then he was telling a story to the kid. Oh, in old village there was a prince, yada yada yada. He loved his, and then there's a scene where he's like to the kid, he's like, he loved his mom and dad, and he goes to them and hugs them every day. And then the kid's like, does the prince not have an uncle? That scene there, when I was watching it, I can't lie, I teared up, bro.
Really?
My eyes were gone. I was like, oh no, man, because obviously he's been with his uncle this whole life, and then because he hardly gives like respect to his mom and dad. Well, he does, but like not until level with his uncle.
Right.
And then that's when we see the flashback, the flashback with all his dad, and how his dad feels like he's not in a part of his life. Like it's just his uncle who's like the main guardian for him, and his dad's just there as a side character. And then once you clock onto that, you're like, fuck, damn. You feel sorry for him now. You're like, oh, that got me.
Yeah, because that's just before the intermission, right?
Yeah,
where the father-in-law to Soori is like the one person that
you left out. Yeah,
I think in my head, I thought he was gonna say yourself, but then they just.
I was thinking of who was I thinking of?
I thought it was gonna be you're not thinking about yourself, but then for them to be the father-in-law, it's like
because
okay.
I'll be honest, throughout the whole movie, I didn't even think about his father in the whole movie. But then once he said it, you're like, oh, when you think of it from his perspective, you just feel sorry for him. Oh, yeah, that got me, man.
It's like I think the first half was good. Like it was
going
going well for me.
I do have a few negatives in the second half, which we'll come on to.
We will. But then that's the thing. Now going on to the second half, that was another thing, right? Soori's wife was a doctor. Now in the second half, she gets transferred.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And everything looks like it's going well until
we find out.
Laddu finds out that he's gone.
That's another scene that almost broke me as well. When we find out the truth of, how...
Oh, later on. Yeah. Because that's the thing. So what they tell Laddu... Now, this is bad. Like, just never do this with anyone, please. They tell Laddu that he's dead.
He's straight up dead.
Like, what? First of all, why would you, like... It's actually crazy to think, like, you would fake your own brother's death. I mean, obviously, they're trying to protect the kid, right? Because they can't tell him...
They want him to depend on his uncle for the rest of his life. So they're trying to, like, at least... Not separate them, but like give them space with each other.
And then that's the thing, like he was crying right at the beginning of second half. Like he was crying, and then
his mom always keeps hitting him. Like, that was.
And then all the family's like, "What are you doing?" Like, because he couldn't, like Laddu couldn't control himself. Like he loved his uncle.
I was feeling sorry for him at the same time, but then I was like it's gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to separate from each other.
Yeah, because like how can Soori and his wife live their life? You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, no family bonding time for them guys.
Like, so, exactly. But then it got to a point, even like where now in the second half, where it's like the doctor was like, if he keeps crying, like he's gonna have
fits of seizures.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Because I thought maybe when like even later on in the second half now, because there was that wedding, right? And there was the whole magic trick. I'm gonna make your uncle reappear.
Was that the cameo from
the magician?
Yeah, like, he was actually. Have you seen any of his previous movies? Because he's actually a pretty not big actor, but he's in the Tamil industry. He's a pretty big, decent actor. Yeah, he's because I was expecting him to come, but for those who don't know, it was Vimal as a cameo as a magician. But yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, I'll make your father, not father, uncle reappear. And then, now this is where it gets even worse, because what happens in the second half, Soori's wife is pregnant, and she literally makes him swear on their unborn kid that you'll never go to see him again for now. And it's like, it wasn't not like, I'm like, what kind of woman would do this?
Yeah, and the worst part is when he made the promise, like, I'll put it in the belly. And
he swore as well.
And then he's like, okay, I won't do it. And then 5 minutes later, the whole scene happens, and he
in the hospital.
He goes rushing there, and then that scene as well. He's like, you promised me you wouldn't go see the kid, and then here you are, and then. But then again, I can't blame him. He
loves that.
For those
kid.
who didn't know, Laddu gets in an accident, like a car crash, and then he goes to the hospital. And then Soori's like, I have to go for this. So he goes to the hospital, and then obviously his wife's there saying, why'd you come here? You promised me you wouldn't be here. And then at the same time, you like, Soori's his uncle. Why would you not want to be there if someone's in danger? You want to be at the hospital. So I was like, who does support in the situation?
Yeah.
The wife or the Soori? I was a bit lost, but yeah.
Yeah, because even like that, and then the hot aid just kicked off. She was like, I don't think the wife, they tried to make that point in like where the wife didn't understand her. Like, no one really understood the relationship that
they might have some crazy bond. Like,
exactly. It's
literally be separated basically, because basically whatever he done, he'll do as well. That's just how it goes.
Like wherever he'll sleep, the other one will sleep. Do you know what I mean? It was like, so then it kicked off in the second half, and he basically slaps her, and it's like. Like, but then this is where the grandparents thing comes along, because the granddad was like, out of all this time we've argued, I've never hit
my
her,
wife,
And then we kind of see it now getting all a bit sad. Like the wife wants a divorce, and then it's like Soori's like he doesn't. I don't think he knew how to react. Like I don't think he wanted to divorce her.
Oh, but there was that funny scene with the text messages.
Oh, in the family,
the family, and he starts texting, "Oh, your family's here for food only."
Yeah, just to food because the auntie's in the kitchen in the back, and she's like, "Oh, what's there to eat
what's
and
for dinner
stuff?"
tonight? Yeah,
and she's getting annoyed.
And then the final text, he starts swearing, and it was autocorrect, and that scene.
And then he shows the mum or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you just deal with it, man."
Yes, I think there were some funny moments, like even in the beginning, like the text message thing as well. Like there was some funny moments.
Yeah, but that's one thing I want to mention. Like in this movie, Soori wasn't like the main comedy person in this movie. I'll say the kid put more comedy in the movie than the actual Soori, which
fair. Because it was like his uncle, the whole uncle role.
Yeah.
And then now let's move over to the end, right? Because now it's like the wife gives birth. Soori's wife gives birth. They haven't divorced each other yet, but then they kind of don't let him go and see the baby because it's like you slapped her.
Slapped a pregnant woman,
and it was like. Come on. Until the point where her own brother, they tried to recreate that scene, right? The slap scene.
Which one? Oh yeah. Flat, yeah.
They tried to make that point that now you've done it, so you kind of like hypocrite. And then he does go in, but then it is kind of funny. He doesn't go in alone, does he?
Yeah. Guess who takes his nephew? So I'm like, bro, we get it. It's like you're close with him.
Yeah.
Like, it gets to a point where, but I did like I will comment to that, but like he takes the nephew into the thing, and then he goes out to get the medicine, and he leaves a nephew with his wife, and then obviously the wife starts crying, being like, "Oh, it was none of this was actually your fault. It's just how it is."
Yeah.
And then we see the kids. It's actually twins.
Yeah, exactly that.
And then this is what I liked. They done a whole 360 of the movie because at the very beginning of the movie, Soori's like to his sister when he's pregnant, and the petare, okay, and so he's talking about the one who made me, okay. And then we do a whole 360. At the end, Laddu's saying the exact same thing to
he was trying to say the dialogue to the two twins, right?
Same dialogue to the twins, and it's like, damn, that's pretty cool because they just 360 the whole thing where from beginning to start, it's just like how it started. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty nice ending. One thing I do want to touch upon is the deaths of the grandparents. Okay, see, that is like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but there is one thing to have with the movie is. It was a bit over sentimental. Like, don't get me wrong, okay? This is my only negative I have. I don't mind a movie being emotional. I confirm. Like, I don't know if you watched Don, like
SK, yeah,
SK's movie.
That
movie had me finished.
That was such. I loved it.
The ending with the dad claps. That movie had me crying.
And the feet.
The feet finished me because that movie was actually like it was relatable to me as well.
Oh yeah, I connected with that film. Oh my, I was like,
seen like I don't know about your parents, but like my parents, like because they work hard, their feet are like that. That got me. I was crying. But with this movie, like, it wasn't as relatable as much. There was a few scenes relatable because, like, with family stuff. But, like, it was emotional. It gets to a point where, okay, like, his grandma dies. And we're like, oh, that's kind of sad. Fair enough. And then we're like, everyone's a bit, like, already emotionally down. And then they're like, here, someone else dies. Cry again. It's like they were forcing us to cry.
They killed both of them off in the space of 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Bang, bang, gone. And then, then they cut to another, which scene was it? Damn, I'm trying to remember.
Because we got the funeral scene, and then do you know what? I was like,
oh, and then he's like, oh, before she dies, give her this sari to wear.
Oh yeah, they showed that.
Yeah, it was a wedding outfit to wear, and then that got people crying as well in my cinema. I don't know about your cinema. People were crying in my cinema, man.
Because they showed, which I guess was quite cool as well. You could say at the beginning,
the OG Rajinikanth movie.
The little, so that was from an old film. That was kind of cool the way they integrated that. But then it was like. And then I just saw like Soori's wife crying in the film. I'm like, why is she crying so much? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel ya. Because for the first half, I was like, okay, like Soori's doing the right thing. But then the second half, I'm like, do I support the sister in this movie or the wife in this movie? Because both of them are like, I can't blame. I mean, to be fair, sending your own brother's dead. That's a bit too far. I'm not having that. But like, still, I couldn't blame her because there was no other way. Because even that scene where the magician was like, "Oh, I'm Maria, pay your uncle." The kid was crying his eyes out.
It's like, "Mama."
That was painful to watch.
Yeah, because even like because at the end, right, they have twins, and then everyone makes up in it.
Yeah.
But do you know what? There is a thing because they say that Laddu is their uncle, but it's actually their cousin. You know that?
Nephew. Yeah, I mean, because in our
is that how you do it?
For us, it is. That's how it works.
Oh, okay.
Because at the end, they're like, "Oh, I'm your uncle," and then other guys like,
"No, I'm your uncle."
They're technically both our uncles, but yeah.
But then, like, even if like that whole grandparents thing, I think them passing away maybe was like the key for Soori
For them to join together,
together, because they touch upon it at the end, like, let's be like them, you know.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
And I think you touched upon something as well about you couldn't, like, it was a bit hard to connect. I think I agree with you as well. Like, on an emotional level, it was a bit. It was that.
There were some scenes I'm like, oh, when he said his uncle died, yeah, that scene got me because my uncle's also passed away. But that scene got me as well. But then it was a scene. The one scene I'm telling you, it was a bed scene. That one actually done me. I couldn't get past because after the intermission came, I had to run to the toilet. I had to go wash my face. My face was gone. I was crying. I was like, nah, they couldn't do this. But yeah, overall though, like the reason why I gave it 8, maybe because I went with my family. Because when I went with my family, we were, like everyone was crying.
Really?
That's just how it was, man. Because I wouldn't say it's like the best movie I've seen. Okay, but here's the thing about me. I've got like a list of movies that I'll give like high rating and low rating.
Yeah.
If a movie makes me cry, it automatically goes on the list of it's one of the good movies.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's why for me, Dawn is my best movie of all time.
It's one of my favorite of all time. Yeah, 100%.
So, but still, why would you give it a 5 out of 10? That's my question.
So,
what other negatives do you have for the movie?
For one, that about the connection, I just feel like I couldn't connect with the film
Fair
like
enough.
on an emotional level.
For every audience, you know how they see it.
2, I wish they did stick to the whole nephew and uncle story, because I know that they most of it was
I hear it.
on the wife.
But here's the issue, but the thing, if they stuck to the nephew thing, the movie would be over in the first half. There wouldn't be the reason for the second half.
But then maybe they could have taken him away, and then we could have, I don't know how they would have done it, but I just wish.
What I would have preferred, if they like separate each other for like maybe even like a year or something.
Yeah.
Something like, and then Soori comes back to his life. It's like, oh, and then Soori's like, and the kid's like, I don't know who you are anymore. That would have been like,
they could have continued that, and I would have been like, oh,
that would have been like, Soori would have been like traumatized.
Yeah,
like, why you don't remember who I am anymore?
It was a bit too like over, like
I
crying like serious.
It got to a point where I'm like, am I watching a movie or a Tamil series? Because them man in I don't know, like in series they're like over dramatic. It got to a point where every scene someone's crying. Like Soori's crying, next minute the wife's crying, next minute the sister's crying. It's just
everyone's crying. Like it was a bit. I wish there was a bit more comedy towards the second half. Like first half there was a little bit.
Second half was just straight
drama.
That's how it was.
And the grandparents bit, like some of it they could have cut out. You're right. And I think going back to whose side you support, that's also another thing. Like who am I meant to sympathize throughout this film? Because I don't think there's one. You can't just pick one person throughout the film and like just throughout the whole film you're like this person. You can't really do that. Like throughout the film
it keeps switching each
it's
time.
Either the wife or it's the sister, and then just before the intermission it's the brother-in-law, and then you've got Soori. It's like which one? That's where for me, it was a bit like,
because I felt like the main focus keeps shifting each time.
Yeah,
so
you're right. So that's why I scored it like that. I mean, the first half was definitely better than the second half.
I can agree with you there.
But that's my justification, for it. I mean, like even on the music, what did you said you liked?
I mean, because the only time I heard the music was like one song at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Even in the end credit scene, both of them were the same songs, but like the lyrics for the song was actually a good lyric. That's why I was like, it's a pretty good music. But besides that, but there was times where I didn't like the music because there's a scene and then they play like the background music just for the audience to feel emotional for them. Like it wouldn't even be like a sad scene, but the music director will put a music like a BGM there just for like, hey guys, start crying now because it's a sad scene. That's just how it works.
Yeah, I mean the music was alright, like, but it was kind of all a bit similar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like one main song and then one like duet song with Soori and the hero.
There was not too many.
There wasn't that many songs.
There was nothing too much throughout. But like even for me, like when I went to watch this film, I actually didn't watch the trailer before.
Oh, fair. I watched the movie. Oh, that's what I want to ask you about. Because when I watched the trailer, I'm like, oh, this movie is a definitely I have to watch with my family. Because I was like, because when I go to the movies, I watch the trailer, I'd be like, okay, do I go with my family for this one or with my mates? And when I saw this one, I'm like, okay, this is where we're going with my mates. They won't really affect it, like connect with this. Go with my family, it will hit more. So that's why I took my family to watch this movie, and it was 10 times better experience, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because I went on my own for this one, but I didn't watch the trailer. I mean, on the way on the bus, I was watching the trailer. I was like, it could have been better. The trailer was actually quite good.
The trailer was like, I don't know if you remember that scene where Soori puts his hand on the wall.
Oh yeah, at the party, at the wedding, and he's just like
you see
silence,
fingerprints, yeah,
and just like
that
heartbeat
scene,
type.
like just by that trailer, I was like, oh, I was hooked onto it.
Yeah.
But then when you go watch the movie, it's like only the first half of that movie was around them, and the second half was completely different.
So that's why it was a bit different. I didn't watch the trailer going in, so I was like kind of a blank canvas. But like, it was still good to like. Don't get me wrong, like it was alright. But then, do you think it's similar? I don't think it is similar to like J.M. Ravi's brother last year. I think it's better than that.
Brother, I'm trying to think, because
like the whole
siblings,
kind of, but not to a great extent. Kind of similar.
Remind me of that.
It was about the brother and sister.
Yeah, I know that.
But then, he went there. He remember it was a bit goofy.
He was trying to look for a job, wasn't he?
Like, a bit goofy, and everyone else was serious.
Oh yeah.
But
that movie was way more comedy than this movie. I'll give you,
but I think this one was better though. I would say that.
Yeah,
I'm
agreeing.
Like it's different, but then I don't know if this is a trend now within Indian cinema. We've had films like this. We've had films like Tourist Family. Now they're starting to do I mean, Tamil cinema is trying to do a lot more.
It gets to a point. It's like commercials, your masala actions, like what's recent now? You got Blood and Violence is like the main go-to.
Exactly.
Action movies. Now we have recently family-oriented movies. We got Tourist Family, because the main family topic is usually dad or son. Because we saw GBU, dad or son.
Dad and son.
Dad and son. Then we have dad and daughter maybe.
Because
that was even Ajit Viswasam. Have you seen that one?
Not yet. No.
That's a good movie actually to watch. What else are the family relatives movies are there? Mother and Daughter. That's also a plot for.
Okay.
Trying to think of what movie comes in mind.
I think with Viswasam, and maybe I've seen a little bit of the end.
It's the one with the
racing.
Athletic, yeah, that's that one. Yeah.
Mother and Daughter. Have I seen one?
I'm trying to think of one as well. Mother and Daughter. I feel like there is one.
There must.
It's on the top of my head right now.
No. They've done Father and Daughter, even like Nayakan's Father and Daughter. But I think now, hopefully, I mean, it's good to have these type of films, but I don't want to get there to a point where they do too much.
Rinse and repeat.
Like too much. And like now it's nice to have like two films now that are different to the.
I hear it.
It's good just to see. Because
I wouldn't say the movie for Maaman is like I've seen it before. Like there are some scenes where like it's like a relative movie, everyone's trying to be close. But there are some scenes I'll be like this hasn't been done before. I'm like okay, it's pretty interesting. A good input to the movie. I was like
yeah, because it was. That's why for me, that's where the plus point was the story, right?
Yeah,
because it was different. It was simple. Like they didn't need to overdo it. Like obviously they over dramatized it, but other than that, like it was just nice, simple. Like it is kind of an easy watch, but then I think people might find it like depressing.
I would say that's like a one-time movie watch.
Yeah,
you wouldn't hear me watch that movie again, like see me watch that movie again. But it's a good one-time watch though. I wouldn't say that. But.
Yeah, I mean now I'm just trying to think of what else is there. Yeah, it was just overall an alright film. Simple, good story, and then maybe I don't know if it's worth going with your nephew, uncle and nephew.
Maybe it probably has like a big effect if you go with your nephews or uncles.
Imagine you'll probably like love it.
They'll probably relate with it even closer. But me personally, I highly recommend you guys watching it for the cinema. I mean, it'll probably come out in like HD soon or
OTT.
Yeah,
but then that was another thing. Did you find the uncle and nephew, like the Laddu relationship, too much?
That's not even a question. 100%. I'm not gonna lie. It was a bit over the top. It was over the top. Like it gets to a point. Like I said, like the whole marriage scene. That he was sitting there, fair enough. And the ear piercing scene. Okay,
that was
because. The sister was like, he'll do it because he's a nephew. And the wife's like, why would he want to do it?
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then when he does do it, that's when the whole fight breaks out. And everyone's like, why'd you do this to yourself? And then, that happens as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite, that's my kind of take on the film. But then now let's talk about a trailer we just got, yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah. Thug Life.
Thug Life. Oh, God. I don't know what
Okay. I want to get one thing straight. So before the trailer came out, we had a teaser trailer, okay? And then here's the thing: I got nothing against Kamal. I watch all his movies, okay? I don't hate him. But when I saw the teaser for Thug Life, gas, all right? I was like, the villain, you get the
oh my God.
I was getting goosebumps, yeah. And because all you see was just him like the flap, and I was like, oh, you see his eyes. That was cool. And then obviously a month later, we see the trailer come out, and I was excited for the trailer. But I don't know what it was, okay? Don't get, like, something about the trailer just put me off about it. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad trailer or anything, but all I'm saying was Kamal was moving a bit too booky for my liking. Okay?
Yeah, with Trisha, yeah?
That's it. You're my Adam. Okay.
So apparently, I literally saw on Instagram today, that's like a Ashra Rai reference where, I don't, because they put a picture of the song Gajarare where Amitabh Bachchan, or Amitabh Bachchan and Ashra Rai together. So I don't know if
There's a reference.
if there's a reference to that. But yeah, you're right about the whole Trisha thing. Like, what's their relationship in this film?
Before I saw them, when you saw the teaser and the announcements of who's in the movie, we see the cast and we see, because I don't know if you knew this, but
Was it Dulquer?
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the
and
movie as
JM
well.
Ravi, I think.
That would have been a crazy.
It would have been JM Ravi and Kamal Hassan.
Yeah, no, because Dulquer Salman was supposed to play the son for Kamal Hassan, but that was a missed opportunity, man. Like, although Simba was also a pretty good actor, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind him as the son as well. That's one thing that I caught off guard. Simba playing the son for Kamal, because in all the teaser, like he made it seem like Simba's a police officer who's trying to take down Kamal.
Okay.
But then when you see the actual trailer, we realize those two are father and son. Okay, but here's one thing that annoyed me. Okay, no, go.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's his real son. I don't know, because I don't know, because there's a thing that is, I think there's a dialogue where Kamal's like, "Oh, you helped me get out of this place," and I don't know if he was referring to Nasser's character or was he referring to Simba as a kid.
He could be. Like, that's what I was saying. Maybe he adopted him when he was young. Or
yeah,
something.
So that would be interesting.
But obviously, I don't know if you know the actual plot of the movie, because there was like a little synopsis or like a little detail.
I think it's like father and son, but then he's an old gangster or whatever.
I talked to my cousins about this. Let's take Vikram and make a movie like that without all the drugs. That is this. So
movie. Vikram and Goat put together.
No. Vikram and Thug Life.
Yeah.
Same movie. That's why I'm
saying.
Because the plot of Vikram, we know he's an old spy. He dies, but he's actually alive.
Yeah.
Take Thug Life, because I was reading the synopsis for the movie. An old gangster pretends he dies, but comes back in to see who's leading the syndicate, and it's actually his son now. And now he's trying to take over his son for whatever reason that may be. We don't know.
Because in the trailer they say, "Oh, I'm gonna give you the outside. The outside will."
Yeah, and the inside will be Amar or whatever. Like.
But then that's the thing. Maybe I thought it was good, but then at the same time, have they given a lot away in the trailer? Because now
I agree.
Now we know what to expect. You know, like
because they'll be like, "Oh, Kamal's died," but we know deep down he's
not
definitely
dead.
Still alive.
Or like Simba's died, but he's not dead.
Because we see the final fight scene on the rooftops.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the ending. Like when he's with the long hair, like either Kamal will resurrect and it's just like they're going to fight. Or I don't think they'll make up though.
Someone's dying. Dying.
Or both.
That possibility. But
I'd rather have both.
Did you hear the song for the movie? The
Jinga Jinga. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, such a good song.
Yeah.
But I wonder how that will factor in as well.
Yeah, that's probably like in the beginning of the movie when they're all like a happy family.
Yeah.
Switch to the rough side of the movie.
Like that song's good. I mean, the ending song of the teaser was like, oh my, when I heard that.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what gave me goosebumps. When I was like,
you're right. Like I'm like, because when I saw the first teaser, I was like, there's a chance that this could be like generation. Like if they deliver it, I mean, it's Mani Ratnam visuals, isn't it?
Mani Ratnam is a go-to director, regardless of what
it's like.
Have you watched Ponniyin Selvan?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah.
That's a good movie as well.
So it will be interesting, and it's going to be in IMAX. So like Mani Ratnam visuals in IMAX. I wonder how much bigger they will look. Like
he's gonna drain my money, man.
Literally. Yeah, IMAX is not cheap here in the UK, guys. Like honestly, it's like, oh my god, like that's one big. That's probably one of the bigger films coming out of Tamil cinema this year.
Is anything else coming out this year?
And Coolie.
Coolie's coming out, of course.
That's like the two.
That's also like a big cast movie as well. Like
that cast is like next level. Everywhere from Indian cinema. Like you got Upendra, you got Nagarjuna. So I think in that film, Nagarjuna is gonna steal the show. As soon as I saw that character poster drop, I was like, I'm like,
I hear it.
There is something in there. Even did you see the glimpse where they just showed the back of the head?
The back of the heads, yeah.
I don't know how you can sell a film just like on the back of the heads. Like
that was even the music.
The music was both. Even the dance number we got for his birthday, like that was.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you sell a film just on the back of the heads? But Lokesh just bloody done it. Like the only person they haven't shown, but there's been this whole rumor, right, of Amir Khan.
Yeah.
So that's the only person.
If he is in the movie, because obviously rumors are saying, he is.
Because he met Upendra while Upendra had a film release, and I think they were shooting at the time of Coolie as well.
Because I'm pretty sure Lokesh went to Amir Khan,
and they showed that picture of him with the phone.
Yeah. So God knows if he's actually in the movie or if he's in a separate movie.
And I think that will just add, because especially for a Hindi audience, people will go and watch it.
Because as of recent times, people in Indian cinema, they'll be like, it's a pan movie. But when they say pan movie, it's just like, let's say, the actor is just Tamil, but the language is just subbed. Like,
yeah.
But in this Coolie, you take example, you got actors from each.
This is proper
Telugu, Malayalam,
Kannada. This is what you call a proper like cast. Like Upendra. Oh yeah, and Satya Raj as well. The back. We just saw the back of everyone.
The thing is, I saw the back of the head, you'd be like, oh, I know who that is, just by the back of the head.
Yeah.
That's what you got to.
But I think with like Upendra and Nagarjuna and like Rajini, it's a bit hard.
Yeah,
but then I think you can tell. And Pooja Hegde is going to do the song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and obviously, it's by Lokesh, so you know it's going to be a banger.
And Shruti Hassan's going to be in it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's going to play Rajini's daughter. It would be interesting.
Possibly, but
to play Rajini's daughter.
Also, we know it's not in the LCU. He said it's a standalone, which kind of like, honestly, imagine you saw Vijay, Rajini, and Kamal on the same screen.
It's the game over, mate. I forget. That's it.
Because maybe 1,000 crores. Who knows? Maybe that's asking for too much.
It could. This film could though.
Coolie, you think?
But the only problem with it is releasing at the same time as War 2.
Oh, yes, that's also a problem.
That's my thing where, and to be fair, War 2 has done no promotional material so far.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him recently, he took on his Twitter.
The little tease.
The NTR with NTR.
Oh, are you ready to chase me?
20th of May or something like that.
And he's like, I'm ready to chase you. I'm like, hey, you're going to tease us slightly like that. Because it's NTR's birthday right then. So I think they'll...
Yeah, maybe, because that's when they released Neil as well with the other movie.
I think they're gonna, because they're not gonna actually release anything for the Neil one. They said that it'll be
War
2
until War 2 comes out,
which is interesting. But I think they'll probably just be introducing NTR's character, but then that's the thing. Coolie, we've had quite a bit of promotion now.
I mean, it's getting because what during very much
August, not
June,
long.
Like 3 months, and then bang, we got
so both. I don't know. I don't think War 2 will be delayed because of Coolie. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think both films will do well regardless. There's no doubt about it, because the main selling point for Coolie is Lokesh, Rajini, the whole cast.
Yeah.
War 2, all you need to say, Junior NTR, Hit Roshan. That's maybe why they haven't done no promotional material yet.
You think they're riding alone on star power alone? You think?
Yeah, and like the dance off.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm like.
Maybe, yeah, possibly.
I think they are riding on it and the Spy Universe. They're riding on so much.
Spy Universe, they're
riding a lot on no promotion.
Put a lot of faith into the Spy Universe. Because what was the movie that came out?
Pathan, Tiger,
Pathan, I wasn't all that because
it was all right. It wasn't the best. Javan was better.
Yeah. But is that part of the Spy Universe?
No. That was the Atlee one. Yeah. So there is.
Speaking of which, Atlee and Alauddin's.
What are you thinking? What's your?
Because apparently it's gonna be a sci-fi movie, isn't it? So
okay. See, I have not watched the video.
You haven't seen it?
No.
I mean, it's not like a really.
It's like 8. Yeah, it's 22nd film and at least 6.
We're gonna go to like America, see all the studios for like graphics. God knows, man. As long as it's not like some Congo movie, I'm not gonna complain because Congo, they put so much effort into it and then backfired on them.
But then that's the thing, like with this whole like even all these films, like okay, you take a film like Tourist Family, small budget, but it actually did so.
But it made a huge impact. For the other people,
it made and maybe with the Soori film, you don't know. Maybe it's probably made on a smaller budget.
Yeah, because sometimes the movie in cinemas it won't do well, but when it comes on OTT, it does numbers.
That's even I think Maharaja did well on.
Maharaja is just good.
But it blew up on OTT with non-Tamil audience.
I don't know if you know, it's now in Japan. They're doing shows in Japan as well. It's like damn, because that's how you know the movie. Because obviously the movie is not. It's not a remake of. I don't know if you heard the movie Oddbox, of a Japanese movie. Because the director got references from that movie, which he implied in this movie.
So similar. Yeah. Okay. But then this is the thing. You've had films like Maaman, Tourist Family, maybe made on a smaller budget. And then now it's like these budgets are like 500 crore. And it's like, how do you make the money? I'm like...
Yeah, are they making any profit? Because... Okay, let's not get into it. But, Retro. Because they had a pretty decent budget. Because Kati Subaraj, good actors, good directors. But... They gave out their numbers saying, they made, what was the recent one? Like 100 or something crores. But then after that, there was nothing from this actual producer. So did they make a profit from that movie?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, Coolie's definitely got... Coolie and Thug Life will have big budgets.
They will, yeah. Anything with the money like them, they're making high budget
movies. The visuals alone must not be... But then that's the thing. So I saw apparently now... This is another thing, right? With the whole OTT deal. So Coolie and Thug Life apparently are going to wait 8 weeks. and then it'll be released on
8
OTT.
weeks.
Whereas I think Retro was only 4, and then apparently there's
Is it already out on OTT or Retro?
no, not yet.
Not
though.
yet. Yeah.
But then I think there was this whole thing about like the Hindi audience not getting some films because they'll be out in 4 weeks on OTT, and I'm like, maybe they've done the right thing, Coolie and Thug Life, because it's 8 weeks is enough time for people
to go to the
to
movie.
go and watch a film. Like even like going back to Tourist Family again, still showing, and even going back to a Mohanlal film that came out, Tudurum, it's still still showing. So I feel like it's a real test for films to do well today.